She's getting a Twitter update from our social media expert. Twitter has gone through some big changes in recent months, from Elon Musk taking over to his new hire to run the social media platform. And we recently learned that Tucker Carlson is planning to relaunch his show on Twitter since he got booted from Fox News. So we're bringing in our social media expert, Penn State Shenango's Tiffany Petrosini, to go over all these developments. Will they be successful? Great to have you back with us.
Hi, thanks, Lindsay.
Yes, so last week Musk announced a new CEO of Twitter. So what kind of power or involvement do you think that he's still going to have as the chief technology officer once he hands over the reins and duties of CEO?
I think it's interesting that he chose to keep himself in the C-suite. I don't think that he will leave behind his heavy hand, and he's still going to be able to make a lot of decisions related to the company because he's in charge of technology. But where I think we might see some changes are where he's been sort of struggling the last few months. So, for example, he will no longer be in charge of hiring decisions. Just as elements of the company, also like marketing and advertising, where he's been really struggling. And I really think that's why Yakarina is going to be so great. She has a background in communication. She has a heavy background as far as work goes in advertising at NBC. And I think that she can pick up the slack where they've really been floundering these last few months.
Yeah, and he has made a big business decision to purchase Twitter. He spent a lot of money on it. Let's talk about some of the ways he's trying to fix it. He had the blue check mark changes that he implemented that became pay to play. Didn't go over well with some, but do you think it was a bad business move overall?
So there's a saying in communication, and it's all news is good news. And so that's not really true. You know, bad news is not good news. Twitter has been dying. And as far as the blue check mark being a source of revenue, it was a really bad business decision. But what that did was it kept Twitter relevant. It kept them in the conversation. It kept their name in households for the past few months. And as far as that goes, I think it was a really good move.
Yeah, so kept it fresh in everyone's mind. People, which social media do I check? Oh, I'm going to go look to see what all the controversy is over here. Well, someone making some waves talking about Twitter is Tucker Carlson. He wants to relaunch, maybe redo his show over on Twitter after it was dropped by Fox News. And he referred to the platform as, the last big one remaining in the world in terms of free speech. How is Twitter different from other social media platforms, especially when it comes to streaming the video?
I'm actually really curious to see how exactly Twitter is going to incorporate this. So Twitter, what made them really successful and really popular was their ability to provide information succinctly and fast. But what's interesting is that they did not pick up on the short video market. So, there's TikTok, and then Facebook and Instagram jumped on board, and getting that video feature out was very important to those platforms. And so on one hand, I think that this could be a way that Twitter could get into that market, especially since they're trying to renew themselves as the everything app, but I'm not sure if that's what they'll do. I don't know yet if they'll have hour-long segments, if it will be more of a YouTube video style, if it will be a podcast type structure that they have with Carlson. I just don't know.
Yeah, and it is interesting because you don't see that very much. And we had heard of Facebook launching shows and videos and series, but you'd have to think of it to go to it. It's not something that's just on your remote, as we normally would think of going on the TV and just checking a channel. Do you think that he could influence some other people to start up shows over there if it's successful? Do you think there's a revenue stream maybe attached to that type of a style show?
Possibly. I think that, again, that's where Twitter has been lacking. That's part of the market that they haven't received. I really don't know if they will bring many users over from Fox News. Their demographic is quite different. Twitter, most individuals are 25 to 49. Fox News viewers are generally 50 and older. So I don't see a lot of Fox News viewers coming over to Twitter for this. Possibly. I think what's more likely that we'll see happen is the dissemination of ideas to different groups. And so, for example, Fox News is traditionally known as a conservative type platform. And so Tucker Carlson would be, in a sense, preaching to the choir. On Twitter, he doesn't have that same viewership. It'll be much more diverse. And so as far as revenue, I'm not sure, but when it comes to dissemination of ideas, I think that he'll have a much more diverse amount of people and demographic that he'll have access to.
Yeah, well, it's definitely going to be something that people are going to be watching to see how it goes and what he does different. So a lot to talk about here on social media, as always. So glad you're our expert and you keep us in the know. Thanks, Tiffany.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Bye.